When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you. Lao Tzu, this ancient wisdom, echoing across millennia, strikes at the very heart of so much of our modern anguish. We live in a world that constantly bombards us with images of external success, curated lives, and highlight reels designed to trigger comparison and inadequacy. We are taught, implicitly and explicitly, to look outward for validation, for worth, for a sense of belonging. We chase approval, accumulate status symbols, and endlessly strive to meet the ever-shifting expectations of others, hoping that then, finally, we will feel complete. But what if the profound truth is that the external world merely reflects our internal state? What if the chaos, the stagnation, the persistent feeling of something being off in our lives is simply a mirror reflecting a fundamental disconnect from our authentic selves? The constant outward gaze, the perpetual comparison, the frantic attempt to mold ourselves into what we believe others desire is not just exhausting. It's a profound act of self-abandonment. It's a slow, quiet erosion of our unique essence, a subtle forgetting of who we truly are beneath the layers of expectation and performance. We become adept at playing roles, at wearing masks, at navigating a labyrinth of external demands, all while the quiet whispers of our own soul go unheard. This relentless outward focus drains our energy, clouds our judgment, and ultimately prevents us from tapping into the immense power that lies dormant within us. It's like trying to navigate a dense fog while constantly looking in the rearview mirror, distracted by the paths others have taken, rather than focusing on the road directly in front of us. This societal conditioning, so pervasive it often feels like an immutable law, teaches us to optimize for external approval, to perform for the invisible audience, and to measure our worth by metrics that are entirely outside of our control. We internalize the fleeting judgments of others, allowing them to dictate our peace of mind, our decisions, and even our deepest desires. Consider the great architects of change, the visionaries who left an indelible mark on humanity. Did Thomas Edison constantly worry about what his competitors were inventing? Or did he obsessively focus on solving the problem of practical electricity, pouring his entire being into the task at hand? Did Henry Ford spend his days comparing his early, rudimentary automobiles to the horse-drawn carriages that were the norm? No. He immersed himself in the singular challenge of mass production, believing in his own vision and refining his own process with unwavering dedication. Their focus was relentlessly internal, directed towards their purpose, their craft, their unique contribution. They understood, perhaps intuitively, that true innovation, true success, springs from a deep well of self-trust and an unwavering commitment to one's own vision, rather than a frantic scramble to keep up with or impress others. So, this isn't selfishness, it's self-stewardship. It's the profound realization that you cannot give what you do not have, and you cannot authentically serve the world until you are deeply rooted in your own truth, your own values, your own intrinsic worth. When our inner world is in disarray, when our self-perception is fractured by external noise, our actions become reactive, scattered, and ultimately ineffective. We drift rather than steer. We react rather than create. And in that constant state of external reactivity, our most precious resource, our energy, our time, our unique creative spark plays squandered. This continuous outward orientation pulls us away from our core, leaving us feeling fragmented and perpetually unsatisfied. We become adept at pleasing everyone but ourselves, at prioritizing every agenda but our own, leading to a profound sense of burnout and a loss of personal agency. The external chase is a bottomless pit, a yearning that can never be truly filled by outside forces. The illusion that external validation brings lasting peace is a cruel trick of the mind, a perpetual carrot on a stick that keeps us running on an endless treadmill. We achieve the promotion, buy the bigger house, gain the approval, and for a fleeting moment, there's a sense of relief. But soon, the underlying emptiness resurfaces, demanding another external fix, another validation. This cycle traps us in a perpetual state of longing, always looking for something outside ourselves to complete what can only be cultivated within. The path to genuine contentment, to true fulfillment, is an inside job. It requires a radical shift in mindset, from seeking external affirmation to cultivating unwavering self-belief. This belief isn't born of arrogance, it's born of self-awareness, of understanding your strengths, acknowledging your vulnerabilities, and committing to your own growth. When you truly believe in yourself, the opinions of others lose their power to destabilize you. You become less susceptible to fleeting trends, less swayed by criticism, and more deeply aligned with your own authentic purpose. Think of Walt Disney. He faced repeated rejections, bankruptcies, and skepticism from those who couldn't see his vision. If he had constantly sought external validation, if he had allowed the opinions of others to dictate his path, Disneyland would be merely a whimsical drawing on a napkin, not a global phenomenon. His unwavering focus was on his internal creative vision, on bringing his imaginary worlds to life, regardless of the initial external feedback. He wasn't chasing approval, he was chasing his dream. And in doing so, he created an empire. His unwavering commitment to his own inner world, to the magic he felt compelled to create, was the true engine of his extraordinary achievements. He understood that his unique contribution would only come from his more unique focus. This internal focus isn't about ignoring the world, it's about engaging with it from a position of strength and clarity, rather than weakness and confusion. When you understand your core values, when you know your purpose, your decisions become clear, your actions more decisive. You stop wasting energy on things that don't truly serve you or your vision. The endless distractions of social media, the pursuit of fleeting trends, the constant comparison with others, these begin to lose their grip because your internal compass is now pointing firmly towards your own true north. This discipline of self-focus frees up an incredible amount of mental and emotional bandwidth. It's like clearing out a cluttered room. Suddenly, there's space to breathe, to create, to connect with what truly matters. This newfound clarity allows you to define your vision not based on what others expect, but on what deeply resonates with your soul. Your purpose emerges not as a vague aspiration, but as a guiding principle for every decision you make. This is where true productivity begins, not in frantic activity, but in focused, intentional action driven by an internal sense of direction. When you focus on yourself, not in a selfish way, but in a self-actualizing way, you become a powerful force, radiating a calm confidence that draws opportunities and people towards you, rather than constantly having to chase them. This inner alignment acts as a powerful filter, allowing you to discern what truly matters and what is merely noise. The energy you previously expended on external validation now becomes fuel for your growth, your creativity, and your genuine connections. You move from a state of constant reaction to one of conscious creation. orchestrating your life from within. The journey of self-discovery, of truly focusing on yourself, is not always comfortable. It demands brutal honesty, a willingness to confront your own shadows, to acknowledge past traumas and losses that may have shaped your externalized behaviors. Many of us have built elaborate defense mechanisms, learned to people please, or developed a chronic habit of seeking external approval as a way to cope with unaddressed pain. But true healing, true recovery from setbacks, begins when we turn inward, when we sit with our discomfort, and when we commit to understanding the roots of our self-abandonment. This is where resilience is truly forged. It's not about bouncing back to a previous state. It's about integrating the lessons of adversity, transforming pain into wisdom, and emerging stronger, more authentic, and more deeply connected to who you truly are. This process requires immense courage, a willingness to be vulnerable with yourself, and a commitment to self-compassion, forgiveness, both of others and, crucially, of yourself, becomes a vital component. Holding on to resentment, anger, or guilt directs our precious energy outward, keeping us chained to the past and preventing us from moving forward. When you release these burdens, you free up an immense amount of internal energy that can then be redirected towards your growth and your purpose. Think of those who have overcome immense personal tragedies. Individuals like Viktor Frankl, who found meaning and purpose even in the unimaginable horrors of concentration camps. His focus wasn't on the external circumstances he couldn't control, but on his internal attitude, his ability to find meaning in suffering. This extreme example illuminates a profound truth. Even in the direst external conditions, our internal landscape remains our sovereign domain. We always have the choice to focus inward, to cultivate meaning, to find strength within, regardless of the chaos outside. This is where adaptability truly flourishes. When you are deeply connected to yourself, to your core values, you become like a sturdy tree with deep roots. The winds of change, the storms of adversity may bend you, but they will not break you. You are able to pivot, to adjust, to find new ways forward, not because you are perfectly prepared for every contingency, but because your internal compass remains steady, guiding you through uncertainty. This internal resilience, born of self-focus and self-awareness, is a far more powerful asset than any external resource. It's the ultimate guarantee against being derailed by life's inevitable challenges. It allows you to embrace learning as a continuous process, not just of acquiring new skills, but of constantly refining your understanding of yourself and your place in the world. Every experience, positive or negative, becomes an opportunity for deeper self-knowledge and greater alignment. This inward journey isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong commitment to listening to your inner voice, to honoring your authentic needs, and to continuously shedding the layers of conditioning that obscure your true brilliance. It demands patience and persistence, especially in a world that constantly calls for your outward attention. But the rewards are immeasurable. An unshakable inner peace, a profound sense of purpose, and an effortless alignment that allows everything else to fall into place. It's the art of cultivating your garden from within, knowing that a healthy root system will yield abundant fruits. When you genuinely focus on yourself, your mind, your body, your spirit, your purpose, something remarkable begins to happen. The external world, which once seemed so chaotic and overwhelming, starts to fall into place. The right people appear. The necessary resources emerge. The opportunities materialize. This isn't magic, it's the law of attraction in its most profound sense. When your internal state is aligned, when you are operating from a place of clarity, purpose, and self-belief, you emit a different energetic frequency. You become a magnet for what you truly desire, not what you passively hope for. Your actions become more intentional, more effective. You stop chasing, and you start attracting. This shift is not about becoming self-absorbed. It's about becoming self-aware, and then leveraging that awareness to create a life that is authentically yours. It's about recognizing that your relationship with yourself is the foundational relationship upon which all other relationships, and indeed, your entire life, is built. If that foundation is shaky, everything else will eventually crumble. But if that foundation is strong, rooted in self-respect and self-knowledge, then you can weather any storm. This renewed focus on self also profoundly impacts your ability to take decisive action. When you are clear on your purpose, when your belief in yourself is unwavering, the inertia that often plagues us begins to dissolve. Procrastination loses its grip because the internal drive becomes stronger than the external distractions or the fear of failure. You move from analysis paralysis to decisive execution. You no longer need external motivators. Your inspiration comes from within. And this consistent, disciplined action, fueled by an inner conviction, is what truly transforms dreams into reality. Gratitude also deepens when you focus inward. You stop taking your inherent capacities for granted. You appreciate the journey, the struggles, the lessons, as much as the triumphs. You become grateful for the very gift of being alive, of having the opportunity to create, to grow, to contribute. This deep sense of gratitude further amplifies your positive energy, creating a virtuous cycle where inner peace attracts outer abundance. It's a profound understanding that true wealth is not merely external possessions, but an internal richness derived from living a life of purpose and authenticity. This inner richness is what truly sustains you, providing a wellspring of contentment that is independent of external circumstances. It allows you to embrace life's challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities for deeper self-discovery and growth. When you are deeply grateful for your own journey, with all its unique twists and turns, you stop measuring yourself against others, and you start celebrating your own progress. This profound self-acceptance then radiates outward, influencing your relationships, your career, and your overall sense of well-being. It is a quiet revolution that begins within and transforms everything around you. The external world doesn't need to change for you to find peace. Rather, your inner peace changes your perception of the external world, allowing you to engage with it more effectively and harmoniously. So, let go of the frantic chase, the endless comparison, the desperate search for external validation. Turn inward. Cultivate your mind. Nurture your spirit. Honor your body. And clarify your purpose. This isn't a selfish act. It is the most profoundly generous thing you can do for yourself and for the world. When you are grounded in your own truth, when your inner world is aligned, you become a powerful force for good, a beacon of authenticity in a world yearning for genuine connection. Your light shines brighter, your contribution becomes clearer, and your impact resonates more deeply. The greatest contribution you can make is to become the fullest, most authentic version of yourself. Embrace the journey of self-discovery with courage and compassion. Acknowledge your past. Learn from your experiences, but do not let them define your future. Instead, let them be the fertile ground from which your resilience, your wisdom, and your unique purpose blossom. Understand that every moment spent cultivating your inner world is an investment that pays exponential dividends in every area of your life. When you focus on building your inner strength, on clarifying your unique vision, on acting from a place of genuine purpose, the external world has no choice but to reflect that internal order. The pieces of your life, which once seemed scattered and chaotic, will begin to click into place with surprising synchronicity. Relationships will deepen, opportunities will emerge, and a profound sense of peace will settle within you. This isn't a promise of a life without challenges, it's a guarantee of a life lived with profound purpose, unwavering resilience, and a deep, abiding sense of belonging not to the fleeting currents of external opinion, but the unshakable truth of who you were always meant to be. Step into that truth, focus on yourself, and watch as your entire world transforms. The true measure of your success will no longer be what others think of you, but the deep, abiding sense of integrity and fulfillment that radiates from within. This is the ultimate freedom, the profound liberation that comes from finally and irrevocably choosing yourself.